Ladies and gentlemen, Industry Street. Man. They get bigger, they get better. But I appreciate every single person I get a chance to have a couple of words with about their journey. And there's one gentleman. I don't know him tough. He knows of me. I know of him. But this gentleman, you can't just talk about DJs. You can't just talk about promoters. Because on top of that, there's some major people in different parts of the industry that are MCs. But I know one for a fact. There's a few Godfathers. But there's one name but there's a couple of names. But there's one name that I will recognize if you just said the first letter. Then I can tell you the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege, more than a pleasure, to get this opportunity to speak to the one and only
C to the K to the award-winning P. What a brilliant intro.
Oh, bro, look, it's not about... you got to say it is. A man sitting back, hearing all the MC going on and all stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I've tried MCing. I used to...
How did you get, P? Was it ABC, 1, 2, 3, run, follow, we?
You know what? I could do a little bit of MCing, right?
Go on.
All right, let me try a little thing.
What's a little vibe?
Yo, my DJ, come and check it out strong. I'm with the CKP right here going strong. We rock the mic and we can do it easy. Everybody listen to the bad boy called CKP.
I answered the bad boy called P. You don't know.
No, man, I do it as a gimmick. I used to do it long time ago, but you're a professional, mate.
Thank you, sir.
But you know what? Before we get into all the C, the K, the P, let's start off by saying, CKP, this is all about your life. But you know what? Before we get into all the C, the K, the P, there's a name behind that. There's a young boy from Harsden. Let me see if I can get this one right. From Harsden, Northwest 10.
Man's done research.
Listen, that used to run around there. Did he used to cause havoc? Or was he a good boy? How did it work, sir?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I was a good boy. Because I didn't run around havoc, but I used to, when the boys watch a havoc, and you want to kind of roll with them, but you're like, your older brothers and older. Yes. I'm the youngest of 10.
Wow!
Yes, I'm the youngest of 10. So
boys, how many boys?
There's 3 boys, including me, 4 boys, and the rest are girls. So
wow.
They were a little bit older than me, next generation up. So I couldn't be grinding with them kind of foolish to some bad boy things because they would know someone that knew me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And back in the day when you were a child, if your parents or your brothers and sisters, older brothers and sisters, friends saw you misbehaving, they would give you a clap and there was nothing that you could do. And you would be scared if they went and told your brothers and then your brothers and sisters told your parents, then you know what time it is.
They could also switch around because in the school playground, if there's somebody that's bullying that, I'm going to get my big brother on you.
Absolutely, yes. But at the same time, if anyone was bullying, we'll just say, listen, mate, we're going to get Audley because Audley Harrison, he had the biggest foot in the school in primary.
So you used to go to school with him?
Yeah, primary school.
Okay.
So Audley was always there, ready to kick someone upside the head with a size 13 shoes.
Wow.
When we was in primary school.
Well, then from that, what sort of schooling did you have? Was it a good schooling?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I had a good schooling life. I used to go to Halsden Primary, which is right across the road from my father's house. And then my dad split with my mum, and then I went round the corner with one of my sisters and my brother. The rest of them had already left home by then, and they already started their families and stuff like that. So it was a broken home, but I went to live with my mum. We moved around to Halsden, not far from my dad, so I still used to see my dad every day because the school was across the road from my dad's house. So I used to see my dad all the time. So my mum done the best she could do. I towed the line because coming from an African parentage, it was you have to learn your books. Yeah. If you don't learn your books, so you'll get one of this. You understand what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So
wow.
Growing up in African parentage, it was you know what African parents are like.
But we've got a lot of excuses at the moment that a broken home brings a broken child. Did that affect you at all?
Well, you know what? There are certain things that did affect me, seeing the broken situation and then seeing siblings not interacting with one another.
Right.
Because not everybody's going to get on with everyone. And unfortunately, in my situation, that was the case. 10 of us, not everybody's going to get on. That's what I'm saying. So you do have those kind of things, which I still have in my memory. But saying that, you have a choice as your own person. If you decide to follow along that line, then that's your own choice.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? For me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and just follow a straight line as much as possible and try and navigate life to where I know that I'm cool with everybody.
Right.
And my character shows that. My character's the type of person, I'm happy-go-lucky, I'm bubbly, I talk to anybody, you know, I'm outgoing.
Yeah.
You know, that's just me. And that's just the way I am, and that's what comes across. So my childhood was cool. I never really got into trouble. I just kept myself to myself. You know what I'm saying? I had one or two, few friends. It wasn't, but I knew who the bad man then was. And then, you know, having lived in Harlesden, and gone to Harlesden Primary, one of my sisters used to live in Stonebridge. So then I went to live with her as well. For me, you could put me in any scenario and I'll adapt.
Yeah.
Because I always, you know, like you get the stereotypical person will say, oh yeah, you know what, all black people are the same, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that when I leave that person thought of mind, or I leave them thinking, you know what, this person's different, you know. The way they even speak, the way they talk to me, they're not typical of what they've been stereotyped to think by the majority.
Would you say it's the media that's made it like that?
Of course.
Because if you say Harlesden, they'll say ghetto. They're all ghetto around there, but there's beautiful people in Harlesden.
There was beautiful people in Harlesden, and for me, Harlesden was the place which gave me everything, gave me a grounding in life, and gave me my musical education. That's what Harlesden done for me, because I used to tell people, you know, Harlesden was a place where, for me, it was like that film Fame.
Right.
And when I say that, you had singers, dancers, producers, record labels,
all
record shops, MCs, DJs, sound systems, people who build box. So there was something in Harlesden which had everything for music. So that's why I was so happy that Harlesden was like Fame for me. Because there was music in every genre, every corner. You can find something about music in Harlesden.
Talking about music, you left school, of course, because we can go into your school life or have your City and Guilds, your GCSEs and YTS. Continuation from school.
So from school, from Harlesden Primary, I left Harlesden Primary in 1982. And then
Qualifications?
That was primary school. So then I went on to secondary school, which was Elstone Community School, which was in Kensal Rise, and I left there in 87. Qualifications, I left a couple O-levels, one A-level, couple CSEs.
Look at that.
But yeah, see, that school was a bad man school again, because it's a bad man from Northwest. I used to go to Elstone. If you say to someone Elstone, yeah, they know what we're talking about. That's what I'm saying, straight away. And then from Elstone, I left there. You see, even then, being in Elstone, you had musical people in there like UT General.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And, you know, Dolomite and Chucky Star, and, you know what I'm saying? Musical people that are into music.
Yes.
That's what brought them come. The music brought them come. So I was always in and around the music, but you know, you used to be the guy on the outside looking in, thinking, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing
that one day.
Yeah. And when I was in Stonebridge, in secondary school, it was like these guys are like chatting lyrics, and like you got Ecotone, which was Dolomite and Chucky Star and Ragga and God rest his soul, and then you had like UT General from Volcano and Bubble Ranks and Stonehead, and you're like, yeah, this is what it's like. I want to be like this. And then when you had the tapes would come, and it was like Saxon, Unity, Java. You know what I mean? All these sound systems, like, you know what, this is the one. Come Monday, everyone's trying to see who's got the baddest tape from the weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen to lyrics, and then we'll be in the corridors chatting lyrics.
And that's what you did?
And that's what I did.
And you got in trouble in school a lot of times for MCing.
Yes, we did just get in trouble for MCing. Because we're supposed to be in class, and we're outside in the corridors chatting lyrics, and, you know what I mean, pretending that we're the sound system, like we're Saxon MCs or Unity MCs. or Barbara Ranks or Beauty General. You know, we
So you know what? You've just touched on a very serious subject right now. The kids are on a different level now. Someone said to me the other day, they're on this level. They've been like this all the time. It's just that media will show you where the pinpoints of where all the little problems are, the pockets of problems. Yep. Okay, but talking what you just said, you were influenced by MCing. So do you feel that music is an inspirational thing to make you want to go out and react to things? So we're talking now grime, we're talking...
You know what, let me put it this way. You see, back in the day when them guys was chatting lyrics, they was chatting lyrics about what was going on, like the kids do now.
Yeah.
But it was more in a case of, they was talking lyrics to encourage you to try and look something positive. Whereas these days, the difference is the kids are talking about what they're doing on street, like wanting to mash up man from this area, or go and stab up this man, or go and juke up this man, or the ops over that side of the road, and you can't come over this side of the road. It wasn't about that them days. It was a collective where everybody was together, no matter where you was from. From you was black, you know, you was getting fight down.
Yeah.
So every black man had to stick together in a certain dimension in order to portray our lifestyle to those who are watching from the outside looking in. Meaning generally a white man. You understand what I'm saying? Today's kids are on some next thing, which it's all about reputation. For me, it's just reputation. If you ain't got a rep, or you're getting disrespected, you got to show that no, you can't disrespect me or my little crew, so I'm going to disrespect you. And if that means I'm going to stab you up, I'm going to stab you. If that means I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go online and I'm going to get likes for me talking badness about killing you and mashing up your whole community and mashing up your crew.
But you're going to end up in the pen and staying there for the rest of your time.
But then the kids of today look at that as a badge of honour. Going to jail is a badge of honour for kids. And then when they go to jail, they're going to be the same people with the same mindset. And it's just all about getting badges and getting stripes. I was saying this to someone yesterday, exactly the same thing, that I don't understand why these kids are running around with machetes and knives as long as their arms, like they're in medieval England, like the Knights of the Round Table.
Well, someone said the other day, which was before we carry on with your interview, someone said the other day, you might as well say that we've got loads of terrorists out there.
Paul said exactly the same thing. Paul McKenzie. He said exactly the same thing. Terrorists. That's what. And yeah, there was another guy. In fact, I saw it on Instagram. Yeah. The guy said he's not having it. Black lives don't matter because our kids are still killing each other.
It's going to get very messy with the elders coming out, I believe. Do you?
When we're gone, I don't know what. You know what? I don't know what's going to be left behind, but it's going to be sad that these kids are still going to be doing.
What's the answer?
I wish I did have the answer.
No one has the answer.
No one's got the answer.
But I know I have the answer.
Okay, Paul.
Because we're talking to CKP.
Hold on. No, wait. This is my thing. 10, 15 years ago, I think the minute you're telling parents that them can't discipline them picnic, you can't do that to your child.
Since that rule came in,
you can't do that for your child. You can't tell your child this. Your child can phone up a phone number, child line, to tell them that their parents is giving them a slap or they're beating them or. The minute that happened, that generation now, I think they've got the onus where that they now can tell, they can challenge their parent.
Yes.
That means that parent don't have no more, what's the word? Control over that child. Now the tables have turned, whereas the child now has got the control.
Do you have kids, Steve?
I have 2 children.
And how are they?
My kids are cool.
Is that because you're the role model?
Yes, I wouldn't say I'm the best father. We all go through our ups and downs, but I try to do my best, and my kids are cool.
Let's go back to the story. You left school, and from leaving school you learned a lot about the MCing. The MCing of taking the likes of Saxon Studio.
Which a lot of us did, yes.
All of us did. Most of the interviews I've done, Saxon's names come up. Of course, you know, you're talking about Levy. Of course, you had the Sandy. You had the Rusty. You had Tipper. And we can go on.
Yep.
And sliding through, I do believe, along the ways, you had the people like Smiley Culture. And, you know, R.I.P. Asher Senator. Yep. But there was loads of other sounds that you sort of picked up the lyrics and thought, I'm going to learn that.
Yep.
How did you manage to get to that stage?
You know what I used to do? I used to listen to the radio, really. It wasn't Unique FM back then. It was it? Oh, God, I can't even. Traffic Jam. Yeah, Traffic was one of them.
Yeah.
I can even remember them. 902.
OWR?
No. It'll come to me. Bushman used to play on there, and Jimmy Champagne used to play on there, Ratty, and all these guys. And
Was it Mikey's station?
yeah, it was one of Mikey's stations.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah,
East Min Chalk Hill.
Yeah.
So I used to listen to these guys, and I used to I used to have my tape machine. I used to have my graphic equalizer. I have a little speaker box, and I'll be like, okay, I'm listening to these guys. You press record, you listen to it, and you go back there, and you got your little microphone. I'm trying my thing. I'm like, I wouldn't mind doing this. And like I say, you go to school and you hear the guys doing it, and you're like, yeah, you know what? I like this, but boy, they're way better than me. You know what? They just take a back seat, and just cool. You get me?
Yeah, but taking a back seat, you didn't have to take a back seat for long.
No, I didn't, because what happened was I got into sound system, obviously, because you're at school. So when I was in school, just before we left school, I started the sound system. I was in the sound system with a guy called Kermit, John, Richard, MC Neat, and myself. We used to call ourselves Good Intentions. And this was in 1986, 85, 86. We were 15, 16 then. So we had a sound, Good Intentions, and I think from then, and that was in Kensal Rise, Kensal Green. So we used to go to Mobley where we built our speaker boxes and stuff like that. And then, it was from there that people said, you got a little something there going on. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Because you're just emulating what you hear. But then, after we left school, I've always been in that music journey. I was like, music's the one really. How I'm going to navigate it, I have no idea, but I want to end up doing music. You want to be like these guys, the radio jocks, the disc jockeys, the guys that are playing the tunes and getting the notoriety. Because when you go and dance, it's them that's at the front. It's them when you go blues dancing, that's what's happening. I'm standing by the set, just listening. And I think I was learning then. I was studying how the way that MCs and DJs was running their team for me. I looked up to people like Ratty, because we used to go to Coliseum in Harlesden back in the day, and Ratty would be there chatting lyrics. Before Ratty was a DJ, playing music.
He was an MC.
He was an MC.
Yeah.
Bad boy MC. Yeah. Emotions.
Yeah.
And man, big inspiration for me. Bushman. Those kind of guys, from Northwest. The sound systems, Volcano, Java. Those are big inspirations for me. So, having left school, gone to college, still on this musical journey. I was in sound system. I started the sound system with Harvey, OP, and Mello. We called that Family Sound, and Mikey from Stonebridge. We called that Family Sound, and I was doing pretty good things there as the host and the MC. And then I'd have people come in. We started a thing in Willesden Library called GG's on a Sunday, the only place in Northwest that had something going on. And then I had all the big guys used to come down and was like, okay, what the little sound boy, them have their little thing on going in Willesden Library. And I can remember Dodd coming up there one time and doing his thing, and I was like, that's respect, because this is my bridging from a long time. But also another thing,
because you looked up to Dodd, didn't you?
Of course I looked up to Dodd.
You still do?
Of course I still did. Me and Dodd, that's my bona fide. And when I say bona fide, let people know this, I gave Dodd that name, D-O-D-D. Yeah? Recognize. Trust me when I say
that's
that.
That's how close you are.
That's how close we are. I gave him, and he's using that name, that's his name now.
Yeah.
Dodd.
Yeah.
D-O-D-D.
Yeah.
I gave that name to him in London, I think it was about 1985.
Wow.
Same when we were teenagers.
Wow.
I've always been one to, try and roll with the punches of the sound system thing, and I was like, I had a kind of flavour, but there was more for me, because I think I needed to transition.
Yeah, because you came off of the street sound business and you decided, I'm going to go to the West End and see if I could really start something without any competition.
Absolutely, to a certain degree. And what happened is, when I went to the West End for the first time, that blew my mind, because it wasn't about going to a blues dance or a Shabib's or someone's house where you had the black bags over the windows and you're raving until EastEnders. It was a hell of a different. It was the energy. And so I did go to the West End, and when I saw what I saw in the West End, I was like, you know what? It's like my eyes. It's like I had dark glasses and I took them off and I just saw brightness and I was like, you know what?
So are you saying that we were well behind?
To a certain degree, yes, I would say so. Yes, we were not even. I think stuck in a static mode.
Yeah.
Whereas up the West End with Jungle, it was like, whoa. It was a new in thing. Everywhere used to go in your cars and every area, you'll hear Jungle. And so Jungle was running things. And I started a competition. I went to a competition. I've done a competition in '92 with about 100 MCs, and there's only 5 of us that got through. Me, MC Neat, Skibbity, DT, and someone else out of 100 MCs. And so once I got through that, I was like, okay. So you know, I think I'm here now. But I wasn't. I still had a lot of work to do. So we'd left Masquerade, where the competition was, and I'm starting to think, okay, so where can I go now? At this time, I was doing tapes with in my ends in the area with a group of my friends, DJ Maddox, DJ Illegal, Lady Mish. We were doing tapes, jungle tapes, and these tapes we would circulate them, and we used to call ourselves a dream team before Garage Dream Team.
Yeah.
We used to call ourselves a dream team because we were a dream, DJs, MCs, and we had our thing going on, and our tapes were running the ends. People were like, yo, we need that TDK of you lot from last week, and you mash up the place, and you know what I mean? So tapes were circulating, and so I was like, all right, okay, so now it's a case of, right, let me try and get into a radio station. And the only radio station at the time which was doing anything was Cool FM.
Cool FM.
So it was a case of, right, let me try and get on that station. But then again, trying to get onto that station was like, yo, if you didn't know anybody and you didn't have the right links, you ain't getting on there.
But that's what the game is now. If you don't know anybody, you're not getting a bring-in.
Absolutely. There was no bring-ins. Even though I got to the stature that I got to.
Do you think that's pretty sad? Or do you think you have to work your way up the ladder?
You got to work your way up the ladder. You have to work your way up the ladder because that's the only way you're going to learn. You have to work your way up the ladder. And that incentive it gave me, it made me vex. Like,
so has it made me get up the ladder to interview someone like you 30 years later?
Yeah, you're joking now. Yo, listen, it's an honour to be here.
I'm joking,
it's an honour to be here.
I'm joking, so you know I'm a joker.
But to actually, what that did for me, it made me more hungry.
Yeah.
You know, being turned down by certain radio stations, like, you know, all right, okay, let me go and
brush off and move on.
War, and that's what I had to do. I had to brush off and move on. And so when Jungle was playing, in the other room was Garage. So I'll go Jungle Rave, and I'm like, you know what? They got 1 or 2 MCs in the Garage, but they ain't got
the clout as you have.
Yeah. Or they wouldn't have the vibe that I have. Because, you know, like I said, I would go into a rave, a jungle rave, watch 5-0, Moose, Navigator, Dead, and I'll be like, them man, they are bad. And then I'll be MCing in the crowd to myself, and I'll have a crowd come round me and say, yo, your lyrics are bad, you should be up there with them lot. You should be up there with them guys. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, man. And I'll be MCing to myself, just bubbling, raving, vibing. And then they're like, yeah, you should be up there. So I'm like, okay, so I must have something then. Okay. So I said, okay, so if I can't get into the jungle, let me see what I could do. This Garage thing. And then so the station that was running things was Freak FM.
Freak FM.
101.8. So me and my brother Maddox, who always used to do the mix CDs with, the tape mixes, we got in contact with Freak FM. And at that time, Freak FM was from North London. We're clear from West London.
Yeah.
So we're like,
so we're talking the rivalries now.
Do you know what?
It's still there, gradually,
Of course it's still there. It's still a rivalry. At the end of the day, but man's from Northwest.
So why are we knocking the kids now with a rivalry?
I don't know. Do you know? It was rivalry in the case of, you know what? It was musical rivalry. Just like you have sound clash rivalry. It's just a rivalry between the sounds. It's not personal. Don't take it personal.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that rivalry is what I would say got me to where I am now.
Yes.
Because the hunger and where I'm coming from, the background I'm coming from, the area that I'm coming from, Northwest is a musical area.
Proper.
So if I'm coming from Northwest, West London, and I'm going to any other zone, any other area, I'm representing Northwest and West London. And it's predominantly sound system or sound orientated. Like I said it earlier, for me, Brent is like fame.
Yes.
Singers, MCs, DJs, record companies, sound systems, disc jockeys. We've got
But the media still put it down.
Yeah, they don't recognise us. It's a crazy thing, but that's why we keep our thing underground. You know what? Eventually, underground does become popular to some degree.
Well, it does come popular because on top of that, there was things like Garage City and that. You did your little mark there on this garage room. People then got to hear who this CKP was.
Well, before you got to that stage, we got onto the radio now. So we got onto Freak FM.
Freak FM, you had your own show.
I had my own show. So I don't know if you heard of Kenny Grooves.
No, I heard of Kenny Ken.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there's a guy called Kenny Grooves. He does Neo Soul at the moment.
Right.
He was there. So we got there. He was doing the show, and there was a time difference, or they didn't have the time. So what it was, the person who came to meet us to take us to the station was EZ. Famous EZ.
Famous EZ.
Big up Zed. He came and met us, took us to the station, and then there was a time situation. So he goes, listen, you link up with these guys and play. And Kenny Grooves was like, his name wasn't Kenny Grooves then, his name was called DJ Farid. And he was like, nah bro, I'm not playing with these guys here. This is Freak FM, I'm playing, this is my time. He was like, nah man, come in. And he's like, nah. We ended up saying, you know what, this is Red On. And he's like, who's these two guys here? That's what I'm saying. So
there was an ego thing going on.
There was an ego thing going on. Remember, we're like, raw. Okay, we're at the headquarters now. We're at Freak FM now. I'm not leaving here. I'm not going back to West. I'm not coming. I'm not going on the station. I need to get on the station. So we eventually made him come round after haggling. So we finally did do the show. And when I got on the mic, and my DJ and him went back to back,
it was all over.
The vibes that we created on that show blew people's minds. Till when, after the show, we looked at each other and goes, you know what, we need to do this again. And then we called ourselves the Vibes-In Crew. Right. Because we came from West London and created a vibe which Freak FM ain't seen yet. And then the funny thing about that was, when we started talking, the same DJ, where was he from? Harrow Road. West London. I said, yo, look, we're all from West. We could do this thing. And so then we subsequently had a show from 10 till 2. Yeah, 10 till 2.
Yeah.
On a Saturday night, every Saturday night. And that show was one of the hit shows on Freak FM.
Wow.
Till when they used to have their raves, freak raves, or any other raves would happen, which is associated with the radio station. And people would be outside Camden Palace saying, you know what, I'm not going into the rave until Vibes-In Crew have finished their show at 2 o'clock.
Wow.
Multiple people. So then, the promoters are like, who's this brother? Who's these guys? Because people ain't coming into the rave. And at this time, Mickey Zoo, Bobby and Steve's manager, he was the guy which used to book.
Oh yeah, you did Garage City, didn't you?
Garage City. He was the guy who used to do Lords of the Underground. He was the guy that used
to Lords of the Underground,
Leisure Lounge with his brother Tony Mydon, rest in peace. So
I've been told to big you up as well by Jungle.
What, Jungle? So yeah, Jungle, big up yourself, wow, yeah. So it's like he heard me, and then that's when I was there probably about 6 months on Freak FM, and our shows are murdering it. And so obviously I'm getting the attention now, and I'm getting out there. My name is getting out there at CKP. And so Mickey's phoned me and said, I want you to do, I'm starting the night in Gas Club, and I'm starting the night in Camden, and I want you as a resident. I'm going to pay you 50 quid, and you're going to be there.
Because back in the day, 50 quid was a lot of money. Right,
50 quid was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money.
But then I said, okay, cool. I mean, I said, no, I want 100. He laughed at me, but what? 100? You're having a laugh, bro. This is 50 quid, mate, yeah, and you're going to be there from this time to that time. You're going to be there right the whole night.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole night.
That deserves 100 quid.
No, it deserves 50 quid in his eyes.
Wow.
So, now I've got my regular show on Freak FM with Maddox and Farid called the Vibes-In Crew.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting bookings from the main guy, Mickey Zoo, Bobby and Steve, the manager, at Garage City, getting invited to Kiss Studios, because that's what they used to do. I think Kiss FM, meeting people like Steve Jackson and the likes, and yeah, now
He's one of my inspirations.
he's big ups, Mr. Steve Jackson. Every time I bridge him, my bona fide.
Yeah.
From that's when the name CKP really started to now take hold, not on the radio, but now in the raves. So now,
Listen, CKP, stop it right there, because I found out something.
go for it.
Oli, Oli, Oli!
Oi, oi, oi.
You're the originator.
I brought that to the club scene, yes.
Wow.
And that happened in Camden Palace.
Do you know how big that is? Do you know when the DJs crap
Yeah.
and they bring in those words, they actually tear the place apart?
You see, what it was for me, I was calling my friend Oliver. We was in Camden Palace at one of Mickey's, I think it was Lords of the Underground. And you got 3,000 people in there. And I'd gone there with a few of my friends, and one of them was called Oliver. And I was calling him one night. I was there, I was like, yo, Ollie, Ollie. And then when I done that Ollie, Ollie, I heard everyone go, oi, oi, oi. I looked at the crowd and I was like, blood fire.
It's
So I said
amazing
again,
how things
Ollie,
happen.
Ollie, Ollie. Oi, oi, oi. And I was like, you know what, I've got something here.
Gonna
Boom.
use that.
I'm going to use that. And then from then, I started using it. And then I started going, when I say, you say.
Yes, that's another one.
And I'm like, rah, people are, they're hearing what I'm saying.
But CKP, I don't think you understand. This has gone viral, bro.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll tell you a joke.
Black, white, yellow, brown, pink, orange, purple.
I used to say this.
People say that at a party.
I used to say this. If I had known,
You could have made money for that.
of course, absolutely. I missed the boat on that one.
100%.
If I got £1 for every time someone said it,
Oh, man,
I'd
you'd be a
billionaire.
billion.
Yeah, man, that's, and I used to say
Worldwide.
I used to say that on tape backs and in raves. If I was to get £1 for every time I said Ollie, 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 I'd be a billionaire.
Do you mind if I use it?
Well, listen, you know, you can't even ask me again. It's out there. Everybody use it. I went to Switzerland. I done a rave in Switzerland in 2019. I'd gone there to do a rave, a festival. I've gone into the festival. It's all Swiss, German, French, Italian speaking people. And I've gone in there and I've heard the Ollie, Ollie, Ollie thing, but in their language. What? In their own, they've adapted it for their
Must
own
have
language.
shocked you,
That
bro.
shocked me, and I called him. I said, "Do you know what? That's my thing, you know." And he went, "What?" I goes, "Yeah, ticka taka, oi, oi, oi." There you go.
Wow.
And I went, "Wow! They've even adapted it for their own language."
Wow.
That blew my mind.
That alone needs an award, man.
And I said to myself, wow, look at that. But you see, for me, what that was that first initial time of saying it and getting that reaction that I did from the crowd in Camden Palace. That's what made me say, you know, raw. Then what happened was we went to Iron Apple. So that was 96, 97.
Yeah.
98, we went to Iron Apple. I was one of the first 10 MCs and DJs and promoters to go there, to actually start this thing called Iron Apple.
Yeah.
And I was doing it there. And it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because you can go to Iron Apple, a nobody, spend 3 months and come back to England a hero. I see many a DJ that happened for. It happened to. Obviously, I was known already, so I was cool. They knew who CKP was. But that saying, it got to a stage now where people was doing it, and I was getting mad now, because I'm like,
they're copying.
yeah. So I'm like, yo, Bridget, that's my. I've gone into a dance, and the brothers there MC the way, and then they started going, Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. I'm like, yo. I went to the dance and said, yo, Bridget, where you get that start from? Where you get that start from, bruv? He goes, no, CK, I know that's your thing. And I'm like, I said, bro, stop using my thing. I said, stop using my thing. Goes,
So you're getting hot.
yeah, I was getting hot. I was
It's
getting
yours.
rich.
You're not sharing it.
I said, no, I'm not. But then my right-hand man, MC Blakey, said, CK, he pulled me to one side after the dance in the square. I said, CK, you know what? You see how people's using your thing? Don't get mad.
Use it as an honour.
Use it as an honour, as a compliment. They're complimenting you. You know why?
Yeah.
Because you carry the vibes.
100%.
You're a vibes man. And that vibe is what makes people think, you know what? They got to copy your stuff in order for them to create the same vibe, because they're
100%.
trying to emulate you.
100%.
So I said, you know what, Blakey? You're right, my brother. I won't get mad no more. And after that, I didn't get mad about it anymore. I used to stand in the dance and laugh when man would use it, because I like, you know what? That's
But you know what, CK, we've had a lot of goods. There's got been some uglies in your scene, because I know the jungle scene wasn't easy. I know your journey wasn't easy.
My journey was alright, you know.
So there was no schisms.
I'm not. You see me? I don't like politics. I don't like drama. I don't like all of that madness. You know why? Because that's not my character. I'm the type of person, you know what? Like I said to you earlier, I get on with everyone. If you want to laugh, go and see CK. If you want vibes, go and see CK. I'm not on no madness with people. I'm that happy-go-lucky person that, you know what? You know you're going to get vibes and jokes with CK. And that's what it is for me. That's how I've negotiated and navigated my way through this thing. Is just like, you know what? Being that person that everybody likes. You're never going to hear a bad word about me. Or me in an arms house with anyone. Or me in a trouble with anyone. Because that's not my character. My character is, you know, vibes, energy, lively, happy, make people happy.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
I've always been like that.
Yeah.
And that's just been my mantra that I've carried through myself through the years of me doing this thing. When we was in Iron Apple, it made me think, after a few years, now Iron Apple's running the place red. Everybody wants to go to Iron Apple because the vibe that we've created there was something different. It's like, Ibiza's got house, but Iron Apple's got garage.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Everything's running nice in Iron Apple. We've been running that place for 3-4 years. I was the king.
You get treated like a king there as well?
Absolutely. Stayed at the best hotels, ate the best food, had the best bikes, had the best goods, everything. I'm not gonna lie.
So you're a lord?
I was a king.
Wow.
I was a king of Iron Apple as an MC.
Wow.
There was nothing I could ask without.
So if there's an MC out there that wants to follow in the footsteps, is there anything that you would personally say to them?
I would say, if there's anything that you know what I'd say to them, you know what? Believe in yourself. Don't let no one detract you from believing and achieving in yourself. Yeah? You can nominate people, but you've got to come with your own kind of side. You've got to stand out. Be different. Be unique. And what you got to remember is, see, back in the day, we didn't have an internet. None of that to boost up our careers. That was.
Do you think internet works?
Of course it does.
What do you think about FM and internet and that? Do you think the internet is working, or do you feel to yourself?
Right. Okay. What I'm going to say is, back in the day, you had probably about 10 stations. FM. And you could probably go to every single one of those stations. Now you can have 10,000 stations.
That's
now,
right.
Where are you going to navigate? Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
It's too much to go through.
Yeah.
You're going to find a couple and like, you know, I'll stick with them.
Yeah.
But then you could be missing out some wicked stations down FM down.
Yeah.
I think we were more luckier back in the days, because you had more people locked into a few stations, like I said, the Cool FMs or the Freak FMs, and the majority of London was locked in, and surrounding counties were locked onto those stations. What the advantage we have now is that it's more accessible. Anybody can be a radio station. You can be a radio station at home.
Now, are you good?
But that's the thing. Are you good? You know, you can have. We can all have the same music, but if you can't play music properly,
waste of time.
You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, we brought Iron Apple to a level, and it taught me about myself. Meaning, now you're getting notoriety. People are recognising you. They're hearing your voice, and we're 2-3 years in Iron Apple now, so people know who you are. You go there, I'm a CK. And I will always say to myself, you know what? See, when people stop here, I always used to say to myself, I'm going to give these people at least 2 or 3 minutes of my time. Why? Because people look at us and put us on a pedestal, whereas I've got to now turn around and say to myself, you know what? I've got to give these people time, because these people are the people that put me where I am. These are the people that look up to me.
But a lot of people don't see it like that.
Of course they don't. So when I used to see me, I would always stop and I would always talk to people, even if I give them 2 or 3 minutes of my time. Can I get an autograph? Of course you can. Can I have a picture? Of course you can. That's me. Because people will never forget those things.
No,
and
won't.
will always be in their heart knowing that, you know what, I could talk to that brother there. I went and had an autograph with him. I had a picture of him. He's normal. that's the idea that I want to leave people with. That I am an ordinary person just like you. The only difference is what I do, you respect, and a lot of people respect what I do.
What
but I'm
you
still
do.
normal. If I cut myself and you cut myself,
Same
the
blood.
same blood I drop is going to run out of our
Same
bodies.
blood. But you're not just an MC, because as well as a promoter, you're also a DJ. Because I've noticed, see, you're online, you're doing your own radio show.
Yes.
Or you're doing your online radio situation.
Yes.
But is that your release time?
Do you know what, Peter? That came about, I think, because of the internet thing. What that done for me was I was now able to show people a different side of CKP.
Because you can mix as well.
Well, apparently so.
Don't tell me don't tell me you're sinking, you know.
Apparently so.
Don't tell me you're sinking, you know.
Me, I'm floating like a buoy. Yeah, so
I think it's because you got one of my brothers on your side as well. Innit?
really?
Yeah, you got Mr. Antonio Pascal. I mean, that's what
Mr. Antonio
did he teach you?
No, he didn't teach me, though. I teach him more time.
Oh,
things me teach him.
pass.
Yeah,
Okay.
we teach him a couple of things too. But no, what that okay, so what the live thing did, Facebook Live, we're jumping to 2016 now.
No, we're going to go back because we're on the DJ front.
Okay.
And of course, it's boiled down to now you being in Ayia Napa, but we're now asking about your chill out zone. Because some people's chill out zone, you know, they'll go and they will listen to different types of music.
I do listen to different types of music, but I don't think I've got a chill out time because I'm
Right.
always on the go.
Right.
I'm always on the go. I never stop. I'm 24/7. You see that lifestyle I had of the MC CKP in my
Fast lane.
24/7.
Yeah.
Doing 4 or 5 different raves every night, every weekend out, even during the week. When
Big
you have-
money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Big money, where you're able to charge a certain amount of money, and you know, back in those days, it's like you got your agent, you got your manager. You know, the bookings are coming to them, and you're getting people are making money. Money was churning back those days. You understand what I'm saying? So
Did you suffer from any depression in amongst?
I think the people that lost out for me being out in the raves all the time I would say for about 5-6 years I was out every single from Thursday to Tuesday. I was out. It was my kids
Your kids.
that lost out.
Because they never saw you.
They never saw Dad at the weekend because I was here, there. I was in Spain.
But
I was
didn't
in
they
Portugal.
see it? Didn't they see it that Daddy's famous? Daddy's out to work.
Yeah, of course they did. When they get a little bit older, they realise that, you know, yeah, Dad's famous. You know what I'm saying? And then I've taken them when they're teenagers to festivals, and they're like, "Bro."
No matter people knew you.
Yeah, and they're like, "Right, Dad's famous." You know what I'm saying? But at the time when they were younger, it's like, well, I can
He
understand.
don't care about me.
Yeah, where is he? Well, Dad's in Spain. Oh, where is he? Dad's in Ayia Napa. Oh, where is he? Dad's in Miami. But
Would you have said that you were being a bit selfish?
yes, I would say I was being a bit selfish, but in order for me being selfish, I was trying to get somewhere which I thought would be the pinnacle of my career. Sometimes you got to be selfish in order to get what you want.
Where you want to be.
Where you want to be, yeah. And I think that was my selfishness.
Do you think you need to step on people's toes to get where you want to be?
If you can navigate around it, navigate around it. But if you have to step on someone's toes, you got to step on someone's toes. But at the same time, it depends when you say step on your toes. What do you mean by that? Because me personally, I would always try and navigate around it, or go under it, or go over it,
Yeah.
or just run straight through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
get to the other side. Because if I need to get to the other side, I've got to negotiate how I'm going to get there. Whether it's
Yeah.
up, down, round, but I need to get around the other side.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you're in the way, I don't really want to knock you out of the way, but you know, the strongest survive.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm strong as an MC. So here, what now? I'm coming true.
Would you say that this is your time still now?
I'll be honest with you. The peak was 20 years ago for me. The peak, when garage was the peak, it was a new thing. Everyone was on it like, rah,
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was mad.
crazy.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
I was happy to just be in amongst that. Is it still my time, you say? You know what? I don't think my time has ever stopped.
You're still getting your booking.
I still get my bookings.
You still fly all over the
I still
world.
fly all over the world. I'm still current. I'm still consistent, and
And you're still in demand.
apparently so.
Well, you are.
Well, yes, I am still. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that, because now not only, so let's fast forward a little bit. I've done a hell of MCing all over the world as CKP, the MC. You know, right across the globe. I've raved and MC to thousands of people.
You've made records as well?
I've made a few records as well. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really like any of my records. Maybe because I was just being critical of myself. I didn't like any of the things that I did. You know, you've got MCs which are wicked on plastic,
Yeah.
but not so good when they're live.
Right.
Whereas I'm live.
That's like an actual singer as well.
Absolutely.
A singer on the vinyl,
Yeah.
wicked.
But
you
when
see him
you see them
in a concert. It's like, bruv.
Yeah. You're second guess.
You know what I mean?
So-
or sis.
Yeah. And that's how I feel. I don't really like any of my records. But you give me a mic in any arena,
You'll
on
tear
any
it
stage,
apart.
that's me. That's my.
Where
That's
do you
my
get your
song.
influences from within the sense of, is it what's around you? Like you being with me right now, are they little tips you will pick up and go?
I think I've picked up something from everyone that I've worked with, but at the same time, it's the person that you are, the character that you are. And my character's an outgoing character, a bubbly person.
Yes.
That's just me.
Yes.
That's my vibe and that's my energy. I'm a vibes person.
Yes.
I ooze vibes.
Yes.
So when I get on stage, yo, listen, that's me. Boom, let's vibe. I can go into a party and nothing ain't going on, and I'll be making people
You'll
laugh
make
at
that
anything.
party.
I'll make the party. Like Dodd's the same.
Yeah.
Barry White's the same.
Oh, dear.
There's a few MCs that can do that.
Yeah.
They've got that in their
In their blood.
blood, where they can go to somewhere, nothing ain't going in,
And tear it
but
apart.
give me half an hour and he's got everyone singing at the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
There's certain man that got that.
Yeah.
And you can't teach that to someone.
No.
That's something that's within them that they can create and conjure up themselves, because that's just their personality coming out.
We're talking about a new brand now. You've got a little brand now called Afro House.
Afro
which
Soul
are-
London.
Beg
It's
your
the brand,
pardon.
no problem.
Which
That's
is
right.
obviously with Antonio
Myself
Pascal.
and Antonio Pascal. Yeah.
Pascal, and you've got a few people on board and that. What made you guys decide to get together and do that? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, there's so much about CKP, but what I usually do is to keep it into an hour, because I'll be here all day, trust me. Me and him will be going getting takeaway and chilling here and carrying on, so, you know. So, yeah, we're talking about, of course, Afro Soul London.
Afro Soul London.
Brand new brand.
Which has
Mixed
been out.
brand as well.
Mixed
It's not just Afros. People say it's
No.
Afro House. You've got R&B.
That's right.
You've got the likes of Raymond on there.
That's
You've got
right.
Dodd on there.
Yep.
You've got a lot of people on board. You brought them in. Why did you decide to change it around and not just have Afro Soul?
You know why? Because I think that we need to be inclusive of the whole music thing, the whole London thing.
Yeah.
No matter where you're from. And the good thing about it is that we know these guys. So, as you know, is to bring them on board so that we can kind of mix our things together. I think where it happened was because when we went to St. Lucia,
Yes.
I think that's where we saw the light, meaning that
You could all work together.
there you go.
Yeah.
Whereas everything was separate before that. We'll do our thing, they do their thing. But
Yeah.
we were fused together when we went to St. Lucia. And the vibe and the energy that we created as a team in St. Lucia, when we came back, we said, you know what? We can do this. Meaning that we should get together. And we built the brand. The brand is less than a year old. And with our names ringing out at the moment.
And you've got a lot of international, and I'm blessed to have Afro Soul London on the station as well. on
Exactly,
Injection.
yes.
I'm so blessed to have you guys, and you've obviously been on the station a few times and done
That's
some
correct.
stuff, and I bless you for that.
No worries,
But
that's
in a
fine.
thing, within your time of being a DJ, MC, promoter, and all that sort of stuff, there's three things I like to ask, and I like to ask you clearly. Within an industry, you have the good parts. What are the good parts, CK?
The good part is that you can be anything you want. You can achieve anything you want. You can try and get anything you want when it comes to being in the industry. Being able to see the best singers, the best MCs, the best DJs. That's always a good point.
What are the bad parts?
Business. Sometimes not knowing how to do business, how to communicate with people. Communication, I'd say, is always a bad part. People don't know how to communicate with one another in order to make things work.
Does that frustrate you sometimes?
It certainly does, because you don't like to say something 100 times. I just need to say it a couple of times. If you haven't got it, then why am I even bashing my head against a brick wall?
There's always an ugly. Where's the ugly bits?
The ugly side of it is when you've put all your hard work into putting on an event, and then you get some clowns coming along and mashing up your team.
Are you talking about fighting and causing havoc?
Listen, I've seen every single type of incident happen in a rave.
Gun?
Everything. I've seen man get shot in a rave. I've seen man get stabbed in a rave. I've seen fights in a rave. I've seen, getting jiffed in a rave. I've seen everything in a rave.
And what do you think just caused those type of, when you've looked at the situations, has it happened directly at your event?
Not at my events per se,
but you being on the bill.
But I've been on the bill. Yeah, I've seen, like I said, having worked on many events and promotions over the years as CKP, I've seen everything there is to see, as regards to.
So nothing phases you?
Nothing phases me. Nothing, because I've seen it all. And I've all seen them in a dance.
And when they disrupt, say, your brand, and all of a sudden it's making people think, are you going back there? CKP's things, always trouble down there and stuff like that.
So, you see, when it comes to things like that, you have to regroup now with your team. And now you've got to try and work out why that is that these people are coming to your event and causing that trouble.
Yeah.
You've got to weed out these people now and don't give them no excuse to come to your rave, because that's not the type of... When it comes to brand, we're trying to brand something that, when you hear that brand, you're like, yeah, you know what, I want to go there and party, because I know I'm going to get good vibes, I'm going to get good energy,
100%.
I'm going to get a nice vibe when I go there. You don't want to go to a brand where you're going to go there and say,
possibility is going to be an issue.
I've got to wear a bulletproof vest, or I've got to wear a stab vest, or when I go there now, I don't know, I might buck up a couple of man from the
opposite end.
You don't want to be thinking like that, because going out and raving is supposed to be a good experience. You've had a hard working week. You want to go somewhere at the weekend, let your hair down if you got hair, or if you got weave on, let it down, and enjoy yourself with people who you might not know, or people that you do know, but in a relaxed atmosphere where you're just enjoying yourself, because that's what you're supposed to do when you go out.
Enjoyment.
Not go somewhere and your back's against the wall, you're looking around, you're on tense, you're on edge. If that's the case, stay at home. You don't need to be in that environment if you're angry or you're vexed or you look for something like that. Forget that. Stay at home. Stay at home and listen to the radio. At least you know you're safe there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's true. 100%.
You'll be safe there, but not going out to mess up people's enjoyment. Like I said, you're supposed to go there and just enjoy yourself and just listen to the vibe, and everything's nice. And
do you learn a lot from your children? Or would you turn the table and say your children learn a lot from you?
Well, there's nothing at my... Well, okay, yes. I'd say it works both ways. But at the same time, there's things I've done my children don't even think about. You understand what I'm saying? So there's nothing that you can tell me that I don't know, but I've done things that you haven't even thought about yet.
You wouldn't share it with me?
Nah, you're right. I think you're too bad.
Okay, so within the industry as well, we have a situation. I always like to ask, give me 5 of your favourite MCs.
5 of my favourite MCs. GQ, Det, Navigator, Skibber, Creed, PSG. That's a few.
Okay.
But you know what, I'll be honest with you, big respect to every MC that I've worked with, because you know what, I've got to give you enough respect, because we're in something there which is entertaining people, and I've got to give every single MC that I've worked with and people I've not mentioned on this podcast, but I big up all the MCs, because we're all out here trying to do something to entertain people. So I big up myself straight from CK one time.
Brilliant. And then I can see the reason you said that, because I only gave you 5. If I would have gave you 5,000, you would have been there all day long.
I would have just said everybody, because you know what, I respect our craft of what we do. You know what I'm saying? And we've done that around the world, entertaining thousands of people. And so
How about DJs? 5
DJs.
I'm making it rough for you.
That's difficult. That's difficult. That is difficult.
You don't want to get in trouble.
No, I don't want to get in trouble. No, you know what? I don't think I can answer that.
Come on, see?
All right, watch this now. Okay. EZ. Only because I was his first MC.
Yeah.
And I worked with him a lot. And, Matt Jam Lamont, another one who I worked with a lot. There are so many more. There are. You've got me on the brown. There are so many others, but I've just named.
He loves you all.
I've just named 2 of them. Like I said, being fortunate enough to be in the garage scene and in the studio.
Hang on, you're going to get yourself in some big trouble. Antonio Pascal, what's going on?
Yo, I'm not even mentioning that. Yo, I'm not even mentioning that. That's my bona fide. That's my partner.
Oh, wow.
You know, there is a lot of listen, to be fair, I've worked with all the top DJs in the garage circuit and some in the jungle. In the jungle circuit as well. I've worked with the best of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't really say, you know, big up Mickey Darren J. Jungle.
Nicky Black Market
as well, another bona fide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are a lot of DJs out there that I respect, and I respect their craft because now I understand that craft.
Right.
I understand what they do now.
Right.
Mixing two tunes together to make another tune in the middle of the third tune. Mixing and blending. I understand it now. So respect for what they did because it's serious.
CK, what do you want to do before you hang your gloves up?
Whatever. Do you know what? If I was to hang my gloves up tomorrow, I'd be alright, you know. Because I've achieved a lot in my short space of time, which I've been here, which is, I don't know, 25 years.
Yeah.
I've achieved a lot, and some people haven't even achieved that. For me, I think I just need to. I just want to. Do you know what? I don't know. I think I've achieved a lot, and I think I've achieved enough. You know, not even enough. If I was hanging my boots up tomorrow, I'd be all right.
See.
But I mean, I do like DJing.
Do your kids? Do they do music as well? Are they in the music game?
No. They've probably seen enough of Dad do it. You know what? Yeah, we're all right. They got their own kind of vibe, and you know, they like bashment and you know, hip hop and all that kind of business. You know, drip and all that business. They like all of that.
Is there anything that you've done that you've regretted? And if you could turn the tables, you would.
You know, if I would turn the tables, I would have probably copyrighted Oli Oli Oli.
Yeah, you should have done that.
That one thing there.
You done that.
No, you know, I ain't got no regrets, man. It is what it is. That's what shaped me as the person I am today. You know, you can't live on regrets because you would just make yourself sick with stress.
Yeah.
It is what it is. What you have to do is learn from it if you have made mistakes and just move on and try and make. You can't change what happened yesterday, but you can change what happens tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, I can't change thinking of the day I met CKP and I'd done the industry street with you, my brother. It's been more than a privilege.
It's been more than a privilege.
More than a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And it is with a pleasure
Really, what's this?
that I give you that. And you tell everybody, what is that?
What is this?
We run different round here, brother.
Bro, what's this?
Well, just look at it.
Are you serious?
And turn it around.
Are you for real?
And what does it say, bro?
For those of you who are locked into the podcast right now, I'm going to give a descriptive description of what's been given to me by Mr. Injection himself, Peter. It says it's a plaque, or some people may say it's an award, which says the Industry Street presents CKP for your contribution to the music industry. This will take pride of place. Wow, in the front room somewhere, or in the studio when
It's yours, my brother, and with a pleasure.
Do you know what? I'm absolutely made up now.
Do you know what my mum taught me?
Wow.
Do you know what my mum taught me? When you go to someone's house, you don't go empty-handed, and that's what the Industry Street don't do.
It's going.
So whoever wants to copy it, remember, Oli, Oli, Oli!
Oi, oi, oi.
Well, there you go, CKP. This has been all about your life.
C to the K to the P. Oli, 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 that's CKP. Dance to the MTCKP. When I say you say CKP. All the stars originate by me. Oli, 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 that's CKP. Dance to the MTCKP. When I say you say CKP. All the stars originate by me. Even a few dances was originated by me. That's
Thank
called
you,
a conductor. I can't believe it. You know what?
Sure,
Peter, thank you very much for
You're
this.
more than welcome, brother.
What would you call
ladies
this?
and gentlemen,
What would you call
Call
this?
it a plaque. It's your award for your contribution.
Contribution.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. CKP,
Wow.
another happy person,
Wow.
and I'm happy to interview him. Wow. And we're bringing back another banger for you next week. Till next time, keep it Industry Street on YouTube. If you didn't catch the story, you can listen to the story on YouTube on the Industry Street. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Right, P. That's. Trust me, this is. Yo, this is C to the K to Award winning P. Just here to let you know, we will be releasing a brand new track with one of New Jersey's finest female DJs, DJ La Diva. Track entitled
Let Me See You Dance.
You've got mixes from DJ Timberwolf, DJ Carl H, and myself, C to the K to the P. This track will be released on the 21st of June 2021 on all music platforms. So make sure you go and grab yourself a copy, because this track is definitely going to do things big for the summer. The mayor has spoken. Music in Me, that's the record label. DJ La Diva, that's the artist. Pow, pow, pow.